The morning sun is bright, but Raghu is in a full panic, tearing back down a heavily rutted dirt road on his bicycle. He is desperate to retrieve a bag containing his entire life savings, which he left behind at a roadside tea stall the night before. When he arrives at the exact spot he slept just 12 hours prior, the tea stall is gone. He finds a skeletal ruin of collapsed, blackened bamboo, entirely choked by thick, bright green weeds. The weeds alone prove this site hasn't seen foot traffic in years. If this structure burned to the ground 3 years ago, who offered Raghu a warm bed and poured him a hot cup of tea last night? Raghu walked into a residual haunting, a supernatural phenomenon where severe emotional trauma acts like an energetic recording, permanently etching a tragic loop into the physical environment. Survival depends on recognizing the exact moment your reality is seamlessly overwritten by a violent memory. To understand how Raghu was pulled into this memory, we have to rewind 12 hours. Caught exposed on his bicycle, he was battered by a sudden, violent monsoon that turned the evening sky pitch black. The torrential rain washed out his view of the road entirely. Unable to navigate his way to the town of Kusumpur, he was forced deep into an unfamiliar, desolate stretch of territory. Just as the cold and exhaustion push him to his physical breaking point, a local man named Ratan steps out from the sheets of rain, offering him a dry place to rest. Raghu is experiencing desperation blindness. This is a psychological state where extreme physical exhaustion forces the brain to suppress feelings of dread, accepting any perceived sanctuary regardless of how unsettling it appears. He follows Ratan into the isolated stall. Instantly, Raghu notices the damp air feels artificial, heavy, and strangely suffocating, yet he shivers and ignores his own survival instincts. The deadliest traps in nature are often the ones our own desperate minds convince us to walk right into. Once inside, the illusion of the functioning tea stall began to fracture. Raghu was surrounded by physical and biological anomalies, clues to the true nature of the space that his exhausted brain failed to process. Raghu's senses sent conflicting signals. In the middle of a freezing, damp monsoon, he was overwhelmed by the distinct, sickly sweet smell of burning flesh. A floor plan diagram shows wind vectors piercing the walls, yet the lantern's heat icon remains still. An anatomy isolate highlights the wife's severed artery, making standing biologically impossible. A line plots to an empty exterior coordinate, lacking structure to support a hanging man. These anomalies were the seams of the ghostly environment itself,